The Magic of Spring has a really lovely message in it, but in terms of the narrative, it's not one of my favourite episodes of Baby Looney Tunes. This is the second segment of the 24th episode of the first season, and Bugs looks rather wonderful in his classic magician's outfit, and he's putting on a show, but things don't go to plan, and he gets very upset about this. But Granny tells him that it happens to be the first day of spring, and there is magic in the air and inspiration everywhere. And she encourages Bugs to go and explore this magic to see if it can kind of encourage him to not give up with his magic and keep trying and find inspiration to keep going. And what we see is Bugs interacting with various nature elements of spring, different insects and things, and visually it's quite pretty. But it's not that interesting in terms of a narrative. Not that much happens. So it depends on what you're looking for. I think it might be visually quite appealing, quite stimulating for young children. A lot of really beautiful pastel colours, things that are really nice to look at, and it can help children to learn about different animals. You know, if a child's watching it with an adult, it's a good opportunity for the adult to ask the child to recognise different things in spring. And indeed, if they're watching this in springtime, it's something they can go and do themselves and see how many emblems of spring they can actually see. But yeah, in terms of the actual meat of the narrative, there's not very much to it. But the message about finding inspiration and magic everywhere you look is so lovely. It's such a nice message to encourage children to just look around them and see the wonders of the world, and also to not give up trying. Granny says, and it made me think, Granny says the magic of spring is that it never gives up trying. And I thought that's true. Spring comes along, flourishes, and then summer heat waves quench it, and then winter comes along and just pushes it completely away. And year after year, it doesn't deter spring, it keeps coming back. So credit where it's due to spring. It does keep returning, even though the elements keep telling it not to. But it just made me think. But I rather enjoyed the message. I thought it was really lovely. And Bugs' Magic Act was quite fun. Not really a fan of magic like that, but it was interesting to see and very well animated. The whole thing was beautifully animated. I just prefer the episodes with maybe a stronger moral, or even just a slightly juicier narrative. Some of them are involving the babies being naughty and having to learn to behave, or about them exploring something that's unknown to them. That's not quite what was going on here. But it is not a bad episode. It's just not to my personal liking in terms of the narrative, but visually it's gorgeous, and the message is obviously really, really lovely.